See, all this coolant came out of it. Oh, including whatever that is. Don't go in there. My new supercharged Civic Type R project was just overheating, then it wouldn't start. You being serious? Oh, what? And then while I was testing for that and trying to get the starter motor off, I broke something else. But now we've had some parts turn up. We've got a new starter motor, a new knock sensor, and a new thermostat. And today, hopefully, I'm going to try and get the thing running. So this is the state of affairs at the moment. It was overheating, and I've tried to bleed the coolant and stuff like that, and that didn't seem to make any difference. Then, while I got it in the barn, I tried to move it out because I had to go and try and deliver some potatoes, and I had to push it out of the way because then the starter motor was just clicking. I wasn't 100% sure it was the starter motor, so I started with doing all the earths. So I cleaned up the earth strap to the battery, earth strap to the engine, didn't make a blind bit of difference. So in order to change the starter motor, I've got to take all these induction pipes off and all that sort of stuff. And then while I was doing that, I broke the knock sensor because that's right behind it on the engine block. So we've got a new knock sensor turned up, we've got a new thermostat here and a new starter motor over there, and now we're going to try and fit it and get it all working. That's what the old starter motor looks like. This is what they're supposed to look like. Even comes with a new nut as well on the top for the solenoid. Let's get that fitted. Let's see if it cranks over. I am a moron. Why am I trying to fit the starter motor first when it's going to block the thermostat in? Let's get this out and then let's get the thermostat out instead. But before we do that, we're going to bleed the coolant system, otherwise it's going to go in that intercooler pipe. I've gone to take the bottom radiator hose off to drain the system. Two problems that I've already seen is that someone's fitted this aftermarket radiator cowling and a Jubilee clip. They haven't bothered to take off this, like the clip that held the original, can you see it? The original radiator hose on, and this is literally touching that. So that will end up wearing its way through there, and within a few thousand miles, this is going to end up leaking water. So once this hose is off, I'm going to put a little like nip in there or snap a little bit of that plastic off because that'll stop this splitting. Right, already having a bit of fun. This is a thermostat in a new housing, and I nearly took off this whole piece like that and that and that, but actually it's only this front bit. Then what I realised is now I've taken this off, this bit on the new one is in a different place, and I looked up the part number on the box that's over here on the Mazda MX-5 workbench, and it's a different part number to the one that I looked up. So, worst case scenario, we take the housing off and we just swap the thermostat over, which is not the end of the world. But let's get this out first. Coolant's draining. While I'm doing that, I'm going to have a cup of tea, because always an excuse for a cup of tea. God, what faff that is. Good luck getting the one that's down the back there, because you can't see it, so you have to do it by using the force. But nearly there. And then we get this old thermostat and thermostat housing off. Annoyingly as well, this clamp thing, like the pinch bit is right around the other side, which I can't get to from any angle, so it's got to come out first, then I've got to take the clamp off. Allegedly you can do this from underneath, but you must have like Mr. Tickle arms or something, because yeah. Right, it's out. But still attached. Let's get a special pliers on that and release this whole thing. Now it's mostly off. It does look similar, but it doesn't look 100%. Right, if these are really seized on, they don't come off, I use something like a bit of GT85, spray it all around, like where the two surfaces meet, then we're just screwdriver in there and just try and separate it a tiny bit, and as soon as you separate it, the GT85 will go in there and then kind of wiggle it around a little bit, and now it's all slippery and I can rotate the whole thing. Basically the two things will like cease together. Now I've got some GT85 in there, now the whole thing slips around, and I might even be able to, he says wishful thinking, get it out to one-handed. There you go, look. I mean, it's rotating. Whether I can get it out one-handed, I don't know. Yep, there we go, she's out. Right, let's investigate. See that? They look, I think it'll fit. The only thing I don't know is this tab seems to be like rotated slightly the wrong way, but if I do that, then it's going to be downhill. Is that how it's supposed to be? I don't know. No, because this pipe comes up. I don't know. I can always take this thermostat out and put it in there. Most importantly now is I don't get it too muddled up. I think one's got Honda on it, so I think it's the original one. Yeah, it's got Honda on it. She's Originale. The other thing I've just noticed as well, I don't know if you can see it in there, there's like a tiny little, like right in there. Can you see it? That is like a little bleed nipple thing, and that is supposed to be at the top, which in the one that's just taken off, it is. But if I put the new one on in that orientation, it's actually at the bottom, which then when I fill it up with water, it's going to be a pig to bleed. So I'm actually going to take this thermostat out, rotate it 180 degrees, put it back in, and then fit it. But before I do that, I'm going to have a cup of tea. Right, a cup of tea done, and you see it in there, the little like nubbin thing is lined up with the top hole, and we're going to pop it in there, get a bit of lube on the threads because they were tight coming out, so we're going to put a bit of squirty on them, a bit of squirty on that top pipe to get it in, and then do it all up.
5 minutes later.
It doesn't flipping fit. I thought that was a perfect triangle. It's actually not. It's slightly taller on the top, so I thought I could fit. Obviously the next one is actually kind of like supposed to go on like that way maybe, or that way. Looks more pointy at the top. So when I've tried to fit it like that, top hole lines up, that one doesn't line up. So I'm going to take the thermostat out and put it back in the original housing, which is what I should have done in the first place. Quick change of plan. I thought I'd change the knock sensor while I'm here. I bought a new knock sensor, genuine Honda one. I've read a couple of forums, people said that they replaced it with an aftermarket one for like 30 quid. These are like 100 quid, but within a month, the other one stopped working properly. It was misfiring, and then it's throwing up a load of engine codes. So for the extra 70 quid, and because it's such a pig to get in here, let's do it once, do it properly. It's a 24mm, and it was pretty tight, but it wasn't ridiculous. And I've just cracked it off. And then, oh, she's a bit squeaky, and I've dropped it. There she is. And that is half a knock sensor, which, yeah. So pop in the new one, and then tweak it up. Come on, there we go. There she is. I'm going to neck that up, and then get this thermostat on. Right, thermostat is in. Little clip thing, wired things back on the top, so that's the original housing, but the new thermostat. Knock sensor is in, but I'm going to put the plug on it once I've got the starter in. Right, let's get the starter in, and then get a little bit of squirty on these bolts because they were squeaking dry when they came out. So this is the long one at the back, and then the short one underneath. That's a 14, and then that's a 17. I don't know why they're different, but they are. And then probably get it halfway in, and then put the big fat cable on the top of the solenoid. Start motor is in, bolts are tight. 17 on the bottom, 14 on the top. That's all in, that's all good. Now, while this bottom pipe is off, because I've got to put this pipe on to get on the thermostat housing, I'm actually going to move this up. This is a feed from the Supercharged oil reservoir, which I don't like that hanging down there. Also, because it goes down and then back up again, I think it might end up getting like a little airlocky bit in there. So actually I'm going to lift that up and have that above that, try and tuck that in there somewhere if there's room for when the other pipes go on. Then we're going to get this bottom pipe on, fill out with some coolant, and put a battery on, see if it starts. Before I go too much further and put all of this back, in case it isn't the starter motor or I need to clean some earths up, I've literally just dropped the battery tray back in, linked up the battery, connected the battery, don't know why I said that, and I'm going to quickly just try and crank it over. I've still got, the intercooler stuff's not connected, but should have dash. Right, I'm going to see if it cranks, and then if it does fire, quickly switch it off. But hopefully this is going to work. Oh, listen to that. Yes. Yes. So we know that it was definitely the starter motor. or potentially it could have been that feed wire on the top, but changing the starter for 130 quid or whatever it was has done it. And while we've been in there, we've done the thermostat and new knock sensor as well. So these are all things that have been worth doing. And then before I attach this bottom hose, which I've just tucked up out of the way, I'm gonna take that off because someone, for some unknown reason, has also left that on. And when the pipe is on, it's touching that bit there. So I'm just gonna, probably with a bit of persuasion and a big pair of pliers, take a lump out of that or snap a bit off. But before I do that, I'm going to eat the Haribos that came with my, what do they come with? Come with my starter motor? No, they come with a knock sensor. So shout out to Tegiwa, however you say it, for my Haribos. Mwah. The beauty of doing YouTube videos is you can look back over your own videos and realise how you took everything off. Because I couldn't work out how this pipe went on and where that went to, and I totally forgot there was like a feed off the bottom of the supercharger. So that pipe on. Now I'm going to put this cross one in here, which is that one in there, and that one goes on there, and there should be another pipe somewhere, that one there, which goes on under there. My buddy Graham was up as well, and we thought it was a good idea to reroute this pipe here, which was cutting across the corner here, which you can just about see on there, and I think that will end up cutting through there, and I'm going to have oil everywhere. So I've made that go off the side. I wanted to have it coming this way, but because it's not, that's not raised, I think that's going to not go over there properly. So I'm going to run down there and then underneath the supercharger down to the oil cooler. I hope that's right. I'm sure someone's going to comment if it's not, and then it'll be too late and it'll be wrong. Starting to look like it did when I bought it. So that's all on. Just putting these like throttle body, I think that's a throttle body in there. So I'm getting all these in there. That pipe's on there, that's on top of the intercooler there. I've rotated that around so I can actually get to it. I've rotated that around so I can get to that. That last bit of pipe's got to go on there. I've actually pushed that a bit further down in there so that it's like nearly touching that. But we've rotated that around. That bit of pipe now goes down the back of that, but it's touching, but it's not going to rub on anything like it was rubbing on the corner of that. So that should be, I'm feeling confident. Still haven't put any coolant in it yet, but I know it cranks. And until I get all these intake pipes on and the plugs on, it's not going to fire anyway. Right, I changed my mind again. I still didn't like the way that pipe was getting wedged in there. It was all a little bit tight for me. So I've taken it all off again. I've actually taken that pipe off, taken this intake pipe off again and threaded it up the other side of that and out the top of here. So I'm just going to rotate that 90 degrees and pop it on there. And all the other kits I've seen, to be fair, that pipe comes up from there and then this pipe goes down the back there. So I think it's more accurate to how it's supposed to be in there. Nearly there. Right. That's how tight it's got to be. Hand on top of the ratchet tight, not swinging on the end of it tight. These little Jubilee clips, just hand on top of the ratchet, nearly as tight as it would go with your hand like that. Good. Right, that's tight, that's plugged in there, that's plugged in there, that's plugged in there. I had a change of plan with that. That wouldn't actually reach over the top with this bit sat on the top there. The bonnet's going to close on it. So that's gone back under there. So that's still swinging around. We'll sort that out another day. Right, battery tray is in. Got no more nuts and bolts left over, only sockets and a few extension bars. Right, let's get the plastic tray bit in and get a battery in. Oh, and some coolant. Let's do that. We're really close. Battery's in. I need to wire it up. I've got a little radiator kit that I bought, which it comes with a bunch of different fittings, and then you put one in here that seals it all, stops it coming out, and then actually to stop it leaking I actually have to get it in there, and then it's tight. Pop that in there, then I can pour my coolant in there. I can also use that for getting any airlocks and stuff out, I think, which might be, it's getting dark, so that might be a job for another day. But we're gonna check and underneath, make sure everything's tight, drop it down, and then pour the coolant that I drained out of it back in here, and then it should start. It tries to crank. The bit that I'm worried about is that I've missed the one of these little vacuum pipes, any little plug, anything, means that it'll be cranking over and it won't fire. Oh, my heart just sunk, and I just thought, have I put the knock sensor on? But I have. I remember clipping it on. Starter motor's clipped on. This is all on. So technically, I know it'll crank. I don't know whether it'll fire. Let's do some last checks, get it down on the ground. Right, pull the plug out, and that lot should gurgle, gurgle. Not leaking out the cap either. Glug, 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 glug. This is what worries me about there being a potential airlock. Let's have a squeeze of the pipes. Oh, there she goes. Oh, she's glugging. Oh, this is very therapeutic. Yeah, come and have a watch. That's why I think these radiator kits work really well. I think this is going to help me. See, all this coolant came out of it. Oh, including whatever that is. Don't go in there. What was that? Oh, plastic clip. Flipping it. It's just as well that didn't go in there. Good grief, that was in the bottom of the bucket. It's still glugging. I haven't even started it up yet. Eh? I am.
Oh, you are?
That's all right. No, not at all. You carry on. I'll cut this bit out.
We've got another
I might not cut this bit out. Right, what worries me is that's all completely disappeared. That's the coolant that came out of it. But, although it is full, to be fair, it needs more water in it. I'll be honest, for tonight, because I want to get home and get a pink gin and have some dinner, I'm just going to fire it to see if it even starts and runs, which if it does, I'll be well happy. Right, just as the sun is setting, the battery is on to a fashion. This side I can get tight, that side's loose, but it's good enough to make a connection. Right, let's see if this thing actually fires up, because if it does, I will be very happy. Let's get rid of that. Get rid of that. Anything in there that is going to fall off, rattle off, don't know. About to find out. Oh, come on. Right, got dash. Here we go. It's a good start. It's cranking over. Well, it's better than it was. Come on. Oh, come on. Brilliant. Well, well, it's cranking over. It's not firing. Sun's going down. Grief. I've had enough. We're halfway there. We've got it cranking. It's still not starting. Until it starts, we don't know if it's overheating. See you on the next one.